Hello and welcome, but what is War Thunder? I have played the first couple of hours and now I will tell you what the game's about and my first impressions on the game so far. Also do note it's in open beta, which means that some things may be likely to be changed, but really this will just be bug fixes. War Thunder is a World War II plane warfighter simulator, focused around skirmishes mainly. There are 3 different types of match-made servers you can join: arcade, historic battle and full real battles. All of the 3 servers can play the same game mode types. I've encountered 2 main ones: Capture the Airstrip, which is effectively King of the Hill, and Skirmish. It's not actually called that for some reason, it's just called by the map's name, but it's what you'll be doing, which involves having a ground convoy approaching another convoy. The objective is to destroy the enemy's convoy before yours is destroyed. You also need to destroy the enemy's team's aircraft, and some maps also give you the option to destroy the enemy team's airstrip, which will, with a bomber that is, and that will allow you to win the game by default. Also, in all of the game modes, you will have limited respawns. In arcade, this is based on the amount of aircrafts in the hangar depending on the country that you're playing. By default, this will always be 3 fighters. More airplanes can be unlocked by researching them when you're at the right rank to do so, and when you also have enough lions to do so, which is a form of in-game currency earned by killing other players and killing ground convoys, enemy ground convoys that is. There are also golden eagles, which is a form of paid currency. It costs roughly around £2.50 for 500 golden eagles, which is enough to unlock a skin for a plane, or probably half of a plane wing as well. But this is only able to be done when you're at the right rank to purchase that plane. There's also really only a few planes which you can actually do this to. There's about 8 in total out of the around 30ish, maybe 40ish planes which you can, and these are all side grades, whereas most of the planes which you have to unlock with experience and also being at the right rank, those have more muscle behind them, whereas the ones which you can pay for they're just like slight variants, and if you want them you can have them basically. But you can convert XP or lines into golden eagles. Now, when playing either historic battle or full real battles, you will only have 1 respawn, but you can choose from any of the planes you have in your current hangar for that country. The other difference is that you'll also have larger maps and a lot more space to fly around in. In both of these game modes, you will also start on the runway with the rest of your team for a takeoff. You can also come back for repairs, but it's a long way, so you have to take that into account. And also in full real battle, you can only use first person, whereas in arcade and historic battle, you can use third person, first person, or virtual first person, which will just effectively move the cockpit to make things a bit easier to see. The game also includes a damage modelling system, which means that wings can be blown off, and this will affect how the plane is flying. The rudder can also be blown off, much to the same effects. The engines or the rotor blade, if it's a biplane that is, can also be destroyed, splattering oil over the windshield, and this will leave you to descend into the ground. And all in all, any of the damage taken will realistically affect the plane. Now on to my impressions. Well, to start, shocked. Really, I'm shocked. I just didn't expect this game to be this detailed. The maps are really detailed, more than any flight sim I have ever played. As the maps have villages modelled in, and they're a realistic size. You have just these villages spanning miles with tons and tons of farming land where all of these fields have been made for to grow crops on, and then you also have like hundreds of little tiny village houses. And the plane's cockpit, if you go into first person view, is quite highly detailed. I don't actually know what every single World War II era plane looks like in the cockpit, but I'm going to guess that what the game's showing is probably pretty damn well close to what it actually looks like. And it's so goddamn impressive when your engines get shot and oil splatters over the windshield, and you get your wings blown off and you can look to the side and just look at the twisted wreckage of the plane, which is about to just get you more twisted as it smacks into the ground. It's wonderful. Now when it comes to the gameplay, historic and full real battle are slower. Of course they're going to be slower, they naturally are on bigger maps, so you have to of course fly over to the enemy plane, so it does take a bit longer, but it's the most realistic, and if you like that sort of thing, it's great. And arcade mode is surprisingly hardcore for what you think arcade mode would be. It's still difficult, and you still need a lot of skill to not get shot down. Now the leveling system is okay, it's not bad, it just restricts things to rank and purchasing them, blimey, with lines, which is a pretty solid system. Why they're called lines, actually don't know. It makes me feel like I'm some sort of mass animal smuggler. But seeing as the servers can also be restricted to rank, this also balances out better, so any of the higher tiered planes you won't be playing with because that's a higher ranked player. And this only really gets affected when there's not too many people playing, but of course this is only an open beta, so when it comes to full release there will probably be a hell of a lot more people playing, and they should be, because it's a goddamn good game. There are a few planes that incentivises buying golden eagles, seeing as converting XP or lions to golden eagles is a really slow and costly process. And as far as I see, the planes are really similar to any of the ones which you can unlock, so it's not unbalanced in that sense, so you don't have any form of being able to buy some form of power. And also the higher ranked buyable planes of course are also restricted by rank, so even if you have all the money in the world, you still can't buy the level 20 or I think 16 ranked buyable plane. You still have to be at that rank to actually get the plane. So it's good, they've also done that well. Overall, this game has shocked me for being better than I could have ever expected. It has a nice level of polish, the planes seem really balanced, and any deaths that you'll have is more responsible to player skill rather than the better weapon, as different planes really just are allowing for different playstyles, and the damage modelling system is just wonderful. I really just need to say that again. So I recommend you at least try this. It's too good to pass by if you have any form of interest in planes, or realistically handling planes, or just a flight sim, because it's so good and does it so well, even though it's in open beta. Hopefully you now have some idea to what War Thunder is. If you liked the video, give it a like, and if you want more, subscribe. Thank you for watching, and now I shall bombard you with many floods of field mice.